So today is World Food Day. Oxfam have just estimated that about 1/4 of South Africans don't get enough food each day. On the other hand, around 22 million South Africans are overweight or obese because we eat the wrong food. So today we've decided to celebrate National Food Day by feeding 1,000 students here and over at the Life Sciences building. We're also going to be doing a virtual world where students are going to figure out how to feed the population of some of South Africa's municipalities. So we'll be using a technology, a virtual world, to figure out how to do that. My name is Julian May. I'm the director of the new Centre of Excellence in Food Security here at the University of the Western Cape. The Centre of Excellence is one of the largest, most complex centres of its kind that exists in South Africa. Over the next 10 years, we're going to be distributing 130 million rand to universities and students across South Africa. We're delighted to have this privilege to do it for South Africa, and we invite you to join in the celebration of World Food Day today, which we hope is going to be a permanent feature at UWC. I'm delighted to invite Professor Baruthram, the DVC academic, to open the festivities today. Professor Baruthram.
Thanks, Julian. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Julian mentioned that this is the beginning of the festivities, but I believe it is a little more than that. Because if you have listened to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Brian O'Connell, and I must tender his apologies for his absence. Prof. O'Connell is returning from Ghent, University of Ghent in Belgium, where he delivered the very first Nelson Mandela lecture at that university. But if you've listened to him and his speech on sense-making, then what you'll understand that in 1994, when we walked into, for the first time, a democratic South Africa, we had the country's wealth located in just 15% of the population. So South Africa is really a world of two parts, one of the affluent and the larger majority, the poorest of the poor. So apart from a celebration today, we not only want to continue to raise awareness of the challenges we face in South Africa and on the continent as a whole, but more than that, for all of us, each one of us who's got the opportunity to come to a university, how is it that we can give back to society so that one day we not only be to do what Professor May say, produce healthy food and fight diseases such like obesity, but we must be able also to ensure that every South African citizen is able to put 3 plates of food on the table on a daily basis. And it is through you that our former President Nelson Mandela said this can happen, because as you know, he said education is the most powerful tool in developing a nation. So as I welcome you to join in the celebration, I'm hoping that you'll also be part of the greater UWC initiative led by our Centre of Excellence over the next 10 years to contribute to ensuring that South Africa, both far and wide, becomes a food secure country. Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Can you all hear me nice and clearly? So are we all excited that it's World Food Day today? Yeah, I think it's reason to get excited about, don't you think so? There we go. Now, I want to thank the DVC for joining us today. Thank you very much. We're really pleased to have you with us. Professor Julian May, again, thank you for joining us. Yes, it's World Food Day today. And at UWC, we are very privileged to have the Centre of Excellence in Food Security. Now, why Centre of Excellence in Food Security? That's because food security is a major problem in the world. And before I go any further and tell you more about it, I believe we have one of our finalists in the UWC Talent Search Competition to give us a song. Thank you very much. Ayanda, can you come and introduce her, please? Thank you. Sorry, before Ayanda goes up, I want to just welcome the people in Missouri joining us. They're waking up in the middle of the night to come and join us today for World Food Day. So I think you guys can actually join us as well. Don't you think so? If they can wake up in the middle of the night to join us, brilliant. We've got people in Ghana joining us via live stream. People in Tanzania joining us via live stream. We have people in Australia and China joining us in live stream. So welcome everybody for joining us at World Food Day at UWC! Woo!
Hello Missouri, hello Ghana, hello UWC, hello South Africa. My task here today is pretty simple. It's to introduce the performer here today. She was in the top 10 of the Cape Town Talent Search. And yeah, without any further ado, let's put our hands together, yours and mine, for Lady Kwaga.
Hello, everyone. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be singing Sunday Morning by Maroon 5, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Sunday morning rain is falling. I shed some cover, shed some skin. Clouds are shredding us in moments unforgettable. You twist to fit the mold that I am in. And things just get so crazy, living life gets out to do. Now it early, hit the road, get up and go if I knew that someday it'll lead me back to you. That someday it'll lead me back to you. That maybe all I need, and darkness is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, I'll never want to leave. 'Cause things just get so crazy, living life gets hard to do. Sunday morning rain is falling and I'm calling out to you. Sing Sunday, it'll lead me back to you. Find a way to bring myself back home to you. You may not know that maybe all I need, darkness is all I see. Come and rest your high bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, and I'll never want to leave. You may not know that, baby, all I need in darkness is all I see. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on a Sunday morning, and I'll never want to leave. Thank you.
Wonderful. They say, can anything good come out of UWC? And I say, yeah. Do you guys agree with me? I mean, you're the students of UWC, isn't it so? You're the students of UWC, so you coming out of UWC. Thank you so much, young lady. That was gorgeous. Well done. So, again, World Food Day. UWC, Center of Excellence in Food Security. Why now? Well, today we are very, very fortunate. At the University of the Western Cape, we have environmental and sustainability studies. Does anybody know what that is? Yo, does anybody know what they do at environmental studies? No? Are you guys sure you're the graduates of UWC? Because, yo, I'm a little bit concerned here right about now, eh? Well, at environmental studies, they engage with programs that are incredibly innovative. One of the things that they do is use the gaming program called Second Life. And do we have gamers here? I know we have domino gamers here. I know we have card gamers in the house. Do we have any hardcore LAN bandwidth gamers on UWC here right about now? Well, then you'll be excited to know that in the environmental studies program, they use Second Life to simulate real-time problems. And that's what they're going to go and do right about now. I just want to check the time. I don't want to cross to them and they're not ready for us yet. So I think they may be ready for us. We're going to go live to Dr. Richard Knight in the Environmental Sustainability Studies Department in Biodiversity at the University of the Western Cape and game to try and figure out some solutions to world food security. Are we ready to go across? Are they ready? Almost, almost. Well, before we go any further with that, I want to just say to everybody, Peninsula School Feeding Association, does anybody know about them? I don't know if you read the news, watched the news in the last couple of weeks. Some of the provinces in South Africa actually wanted to withdraw their funding for school feeding programs. Today we are in a very fortunate position to have the Peninsula School Feeding Association with us. And they're going to be plating 1,000 meals for you. Okay, I don't think anybody was listening there. They are saying lunch is on me. Or rather, the Center of Excellence is saying, lunch is on me. So for real, at 1:45, we're going to ask you guys to come along here and we're going to be plating 1,000 meals. Because we understand that as students, you don't always get a cooked meal. Students staying on res, and I want to welcome them. I've invited them to come and have a meal with us here today. Yes, we need to. Look, their campaign says, you can't feed a hungry child. I mean, you can't teach a hungry child. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm hungry, I can't do anything. So, yes, at 1:45, we're going to be serving 1,000 meals. And if we don't have 1,000 here, please invite your friends. Those watching us on live stream, I know I've been on Tigerberg Radio, CCFM, it's been in the media all week. We're going to be serving lunch here today. And come and have a meal with us. Lunch is literally on me. Thank you. Are we ready to go live to Dr. Knight? So guys, just bear with me. We've got two big screens on this side and that side where we're going to cross live to BCB Lab in the Life Science Center, where they're going to be engaging with Second Life, the gaming program. Don't go away. Please don't go away, because lunch will be served. Thank you very much. Dr. Richard Knight, it's all yours. Thank you. Okay, we're just trying to sort out the audio. I want to then call upon perhaps one of the representatives from Peninsula School Feeding Association to tell us a little bit more about the meals that they're going to be preparing for us today. So I'm going to introduce you right about now to a gentleman from Peninsula School Feeding Association. He's the Marketing and Fundraising Officer. Manager. Oh yes, we like management. So he's going to tell us a little bit more about Peninsula School Feeding Association. Thank you, while we wait for the feed. Thanks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charles Gray. I work for the Peninsula School Feeding Association. I'm the Fundraising and Marketing Manager. I've been handing out various newsletters and put them on your table. The Peninsula School Feeding Association has been feeding hungry school children. I'm sure some of you might remember receiving lunch while you were at school here in the Western Cape. And those meals were provided by us. We've been feeding since 1958. That's over 55 years in the Western Cape, providing very hungry school children with a healthy, nutritious meal. And today you're going to be tasting what we provide our children with. We're serving 1,000 lunches here today, so we'd really appreciate it if you would take advantage of this free offer and taste the kind of food that we serve at schools. We serve at 132 schools in the Western Cape to over about 26,000 children on a daily basis. And most of the schools are on our breakfast program. And what happens when a child is hungry? You can't teach. You can't teach a hungry child. And I'm sure you can remember when you were at school, when you honger was, when you were hungry, you couldn't think of what the teacher was telling you. You were hungry and you couldn't wait to get to the tuck shop or get your meal. So then after your meal, you'd be energetic and you'll be back in the classroom and you'll be learning. The children we serve are very, very poor, very, very poor, and they are in schools that the government don't support. So for example, Sea Point High. The government doesn't support Sea Point High because it's in Sea Point. And they think, oh, that's a wealthy area. We feed over 600 children at Sea Point High because a lot of the domestic workers bring their children to work with them and leave them at school in a very wealthy suburb of Sea Point. So that's basically the Peninsula School Feeding Association in a nutshell. Trying to think of other things that we're doing. The reason why we're here today with the University of the Western Cape is to create awareness of what we do. We have the annual Blisters for Bread campaign. Has anybody walked Blisters for Bread? Okay, there are a few people that have walked in Blisters for Bread. This year, on the 25th of August, we had 12,781 people walking in Blisters for Bread. And it cost 50 Rand to enter. We're having one next year, so we hope to see more students from the University of the Western Cape participating in Blisters for Bread next year in August. It costs us 2 Rand to feed a child for a day. So you're going to be getting a meal that costs 2 Rand. A nice, healthy, cooked meal. And you might see some of our young guys have been walking around with lunches on me stickers. They cost 10 Rand a sticker, and 10 Rand you can feed a child for a whole week. I think sound is coming through. Jackie? Okay, thank you very much. People that have walked in Blisters for Bread.
That gave you a little bit of a background information. What I've decided to do, since we're having technical challenges right now, I've decided we're actually going to serve the lunch. So I'm going to ask you guys to just come around to the other side and come and have a meal. As simple as that. Come through and have a meal. I see Professor Julian Mayer is first in the line. I think if Professor Verusram was here, he would have also been in the line. So please don't be shy. Don't be shy. We've spent the money. We got the food here. Now come and eat. Lunch is on me. Come guys. Come through and have a meal. Join the line. Please join the line. It's open to everybody. Anybody who's in the student center. Ladies at the back, please come and have lunch. Kom asseblief, moenie skaam wees nie. Die kos is nou hier. Yesterday, wat gaan aan met die mense? Is nobody hungry? Is it only me that's hungry? Please come and eat. Anybody. The meal is here. There's 1,000 meals. Please come and eat. Please come and have a lunch meal right about now. I sound like I'm an auctioneer. Meals going once, meals going twice. Meals available for everybody. Come and have lunch, everybody. Lunch is available. Please come and have a meal. Please come and eat, everybody. Just go from that side. It's so much easier. Thank you very much. Lunch is being served. And we want to thank those that joined us via live stream today. We want to thank the Peninsula School Feeding Association for availing us the meals. Mark Walker, thank you for joining us. Our guests at BCB Lab, thank you for joining us. Okay, so guys, I just want to make it very, very clear. The lunch is free, absolutely free. This is a meal provided by the Center of Excellence in Food Security in collaboration with the Peninsula School Feeding Association. The meal is free. And if you have friends that are sitting in res, tell them to come and have a meal with us. Where do you get a free meal just like that? I don't know about you guys, but I struggle to get a free meal. Thank you, Professor May. Please enjoy your meal. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Please enjoy your meal. There we go. And this is exactly what the school children get. The meal is free. Please enjoy your meal. There we go. Lovely. And if you really, the sticker campaign, thank you, enjoy your meal. Wonderful. You don't need to go to KFC. You don't need to go to McDonald's. You just come to the Student Center on World Food Day and you have a meal. Isn't that glorious? I think it's wonderful. Lekker. Nice curry and rice with a veggie nogal. Not too shabby. They better make sure they feed me with a double portion because I like to eat food. I don't know about you guys. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you very much. If you have friends in Res, please invite them to come and join us for the meal. If you have colleagues in the offices, please invite them to come and have a meal. We've got more than enough food. We have sufficient to plate for 1,000 people. By the way, the food is halal. Just as a sidebar, the food is halal. And I think it's a lekker curry that we have happening here with a lovely butternut. You'll write a wonderful paper at 4 o'clock today because you will have had a meal. Come and join us. Don't sit here all the time. Join the line. Have a meal.
Numbers of fruits and veg, the local market. That's all standard. Here we now start getting on to the exciting stuff. Here is our almonds. Now, if I told you the almonds are California's largest food export, not wine, almonds. Most of the almonds we get here in Cape Town are imported to California, and they also have a fairly high pesticide. Now, why are almonds so important? We've all heard the paleo diet. One of the things with the paleo diet is that you don't want to eat flour and you don't want to eat milk. Well, you can actually make almond milk and you can bake with almond flour. So it gets around people wanting to live on the paleo diet, which is considered to be much healthier. Some of the other areas that we're actually looking at is we're looking at our meadow areas, and we're trying to add value by looking at adding new varieties to the meadow grasses to improve the graze for the animals. I haven't introduced the animals yet, so that's why we called it our Magic Meadows. So now one of the other ones that we're looking at here, and I've actually called it, possibly you can see it here, macadamias. Now, traditionally, macadamias are grown in very warm areas of South Africa, in Limpopo province, but in fact in California they're introducing it locally in Californian area for grow, and we're going to propose looking at it. And of course, macadamias, the oil is used a lot in the food industry, and it's considered to be in fact now more healthy, macadamia oil, than avocado or even olive oil. Right, so now here's one of the ones here. Pomegranates do very well. In fact, I was at a farm this last weekend in Rebec Castile, and one of the crops that will go that is pomegranates. So there I'm picking away at the pomegranate. Now again, one of the things with pomegranate is that the sugar is one of the ones that doesn't do much damage. We've already worked out that fructose is actually quite bad for the metabolism of the body. But the sugars in pomegranate seem to be not so bad and definitely good for any suffering any form of diabetes. Right, now one of the other interesting things is we all love coffee. Now, coffee is, after oil, the second most traded product in the world. Now, what we're actually looking here, and you can see these are actually actively growing in Second Life. I have to water them, and we planted them 5 or 6 days ago. And the idea of growing coffee in this area is that we actually create branded coffee the way we have branded vineyards in the wine industry. And it's certainly being, again, taking the Californian example. Going to run here, this is another of our fields which we're going to introduce animal. Here we've introduced nitrogen fixing because some of the soils are very low in nitrogen. Now, of course, when we're doing an assessment of the area, we have to protect our wetlands and loving them. But of course, one of the problems with any wetland is look very far in the wetlands and, sorry, need to navigate. you'll find some aliens. So one of the things we have to do in our farm here is we've got a big alien clearing. Here are the aliens. They're mostly pine. Right. Now, one of the other things is we often talk in my trade about ecosystem services. And farming is one of the important ones, because if we have a break in ecosystem services, the farming itself will break down. And ecosystem services are like the biogeochemical cycle of nitrogen. They are things like supplying water, having enough groundwater, but they also can include the biology. And one of the things here is that we've got to make sure that on our farms we're conserving things like bees, because the bees are pollinators of our orchards. So we'll plant specifically to keep bees grow there in the whole area for the whole time. Now, one of the other things, and when we did our assessment, which we're having to do this a little bit quicker, so I didn't show you the assessment. One of the things is that on our farm that we elect, actually all the land was basically in a was a critical biodiversity area. And what that means is that we have to conserve that, either because it's an endangered habitat, or because the vegetation does not have enough national conservation. So we need this land to meet the national targets for conservation of our different vegetation types. So there is our bit of fynbos. Going to walk down here. Here are more of our coffee areas. And what I'm going to go down here is one of the other things. We put a small area of the farm aside, and that's to look for medicinal plants. Because, well, there are two reasons. First of all, many of the laborers on the farm don't have the finance to be able to go to doctors. They are reliant on essentially traditional medicine. So we want to make sure that they are well catered for with traditional medicine. Again, these plants are growing. I planted the seed about 5 days ago in Second Life. Now, one of the other interesting things when we did these assessments, the assessments are based on a whole lot of data. And one of the things that really surprised me when I did our assessment with our web portal was that we were actually getting the fact that some of our farm was actually Fernkloof Nature Reserve. And interestingly enough, the reason for this is that obviously at some stage the farm boundaries did include the Fernkloof Nature Reserve. The farm boundaries have not actually been corrected in the system. So you get actually, when you do an assessment of an earth, you might find that it actually does include areas that are actually protected. I see my Fernkloof sign has got lost. Ah, no, there it is. There's our Fernkloof sign with the water coming there. Right, I'm going to finish up here. One of the importance here is that we've been looking at food. What I'm going to ask is for the technicians to move on to my face. We've finished with Second Life. I'm just waiting for them. Anyway. What we're going to do is, this is a presentation in Second Life. One of the important things is that we're actually using role play. And role play, we explored different ways of looking at it. So some of my students were farmers, and they did a project dealing with a farm development. Others were government officers, and they dealt with doing a compliance issue or an extension or some sort of agricultural experiment. And then the other one was researchers, which are looking for new crops, looking for crops that have a low, what we call, impact on the ecology of the area. Now, as I said, the important thing is that we have to actually still have land for food production to feed people. And the last part of the presentation today is a Peninsula school feeding, and you're actually invited to have lunch with that. I'm going to ask everyone here to buy the 10 Rand stickers from the Peninsula school feeding, because that money will help feed children. And we know that if children are hungry, they're not going to develop, they're going to have less opportunities for development. It's the biggest thing that we can do, I believe, is to actually look after our children, because the children are taking over the message that we must live a sustainable world. And I want to just thank you for this presentation, and hope you enjoy your food and your visit at UWC.
The meal, if you haven't come down, we've still got 300 meals here. So by all means, don't feel like you can't come and have a meal. It's available, it's here. I think all the staff wants a meal. Grab a meal by all means. There's no ways I want this food to go to waste. That defeats the objective of the exercise. Come for a second plate if that's what you need. Really, you're welcome. And then the plates that you've used, leave the plates on the table because we need it for the next school that we're going to be feeding. Leave the plates on the table. Don't take them home with you. Papa wag vir jou as jy dit huis toe vat hoor. So please leave the plates on the table and we'll get the plates from everybody. And then invite those students that are sitting, haven't eaten yet. Please come and have a meal with us. And for those of you that are vegetarian, it's vegetarian, trust me. You can come and have a meal. Don't be shy, don't sit there, and jy wil ek eat nie. Come guys, come and eat. Please come and eat. There's more than enough food. And for those of you that supported the sticker Lunches on Me campaign, I want to thank you very much. You have bought a sticker for 10 Rand, and that means you have fed a kid for a week. Thank you very much. Is that it? Are we covered? Have I done all the announcements? And then I want to thank everybody that helped me make this event possible. Tanzania and Ghana and China and Australia. I want to thank everybody who participated in today's event. I want to thank you for giving all your support. The ICS, AVS, video, TV, radio, newspaper, media, institutional advancement, the DVC, Professor Julian May, the security guys that came at the last minute to jump in and help me, Peninsula School Feeding Association. I want to thank you guys for being here today and making this event a success. I know that we have made our mark on the University of the Western Cape, that there is such a day like World Food Day. More than anything else, I want to thank all the students who came and enjoyed a meal with us today. Much love. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.